My name is Dymphna Ormond. My business is Ormond Coaching and Training, and I've been involved with the SCCUL mentors now since basically at the start of the whole programme. My involvement is both as a mentor and I was a mentee, but I'm also now running induction programmes for new mentees. To date, in around 325 people have actually gone through the induction programme, and then following on the induction programme, then they have their 3 mentoring sessions. The whole purpose of the induction is to ensure that all of the mentees know and appreciate exactly what the process of mentoring is and what their role is in the whole mentoring process, so that they can get the most from each of the 3 sessions that they have. Part of the induction is to ensure that each person really understands exactly what that process is. So a definition of mentoring is given. Following on from that, we have a look at the various stages in the mentoring process. So I suppose one of the first things for each mentee to recognise is that it isn't about coming into a mentoring session and the mentor is going to give them all of the answers in terms of how to run their business or take their business to the next stage. The mentee and the mentor should actually work to form a relationship, a working relationship, a partnership, where each person plays an active role in the whole process and in terms of the outcomes of each session that they have. So for this, then each mentee needs to recognise what role that they play in both before, during and after each stage of each mentoring session. The before is a very, very important part, because this enables the mentee and of course then the mentor to prepare effectively for each of the mentoring sessions. So in the mentoring induction, we look at the key information, bits of information that a mentee needs to consider in order to prepare effectively for the very, very first session. And the type of things then that a mentee will be looking at will be what is their overall goal for the mentoring session. So in other words, by the end of 3 months, what is it that they would like to have achieved? What would they like to have an understanding on or a grasp on in order to help them progress their business even further? The mentee really also then needs to look at where are they now with respect to that goal, so that they actually know what that starting point is for them. So where are they now? What have they tried? What has worked? What hasn't worked? What have they learned through that process? Other aspects including what is it that they like about that particular part of the journey in their business? What are the challenges that they're experiencing? And all of this then actually really gives the mentee, it starts to develop their awareness about their business, a deeper awareness than they would have had even before the mentoring process starts. Armed with this information then, they can actually provide the mentor with some information prior to their very first mentoring session. That means then that your mentor will be able to do more preparation for the actual session, meaning that that first session that you have is going to be a lot more productive than if you had done no preparation whatsoever. So in summary, before the very first session, know why you want to be mentored, know what your goal is from the whole mentoring sessions, know where you are with that goal, and then know where your starting point is. Know what you've done, what's been difficult, where the challenges are, and basically the exact type of approach or style that you'd like your mentor to work with you on. Following that then, you'll have your first mentoring session. Part of the before here as well is for you, the mentee, to make contact with your mentor, agree a suitable time and a place, and book that venue if it is in the Ballyban Enterprise Centre as well, to actually book the venue and to make sure that it is available. In the actual mentoring session then, it's very important that you remain open to anything and everything that the mentor is saying, even if you disagree with their points or their ideas or their suggestions. And by being open, that means then that you're exploring what they're saying with you. So you're beginning to discuss and you're beginning to look at their options so that you can determine whether maybe it is right and you just need to tweak it or look at it differently, or maybe it actually isn't the right option for you. And there's great learnings for yourself and for the mentor from that, so then you can direct the conversation further. So the process is about sharing, it's about listening, it's about asking questions, it's about exploring the various options, and then from that discussion identifying what is the best action for you to take to move yourself forward. So every mentoring session that you have, the outcome should be an action plan that you have identified an action plan that you have agreed, and an action plan that you really own, so that you can then take the next steps. And I would suggest in agreeing that action plan that you document it, because we all have very good intentions to actually do things, but then when we leave the room, other life or other work takes over. So if you document it and you identify exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to start it, and how you're going to measure your progress, then it becomes a lot more motivational and really is an enabler for you to actually take those actions and take them further. So that's basically the before and the during. And of course the during, there's a lot more going on during the actual sessions. But then after each mentoring session, then it's important that you do the actions. Otherwise it basically becomes a waste of time for you, and it becomes a waste of time for the for the mentor. So complete your action plans, and when you're completing your action plans, take note. So review and reflect what's working, what hasn't worked, what is happening as a result. As a result of that action, did you then identify something else that you could do that would take you to the next step? This then becomes feedback that you can give to your mentor at the next session. So to complete the cycle, you've done the before, the during and the after. You now have to start off the before again for your second mentoring session. So for that part then, you're thinking about, okay, what have I done? What were the results? What's happened? Where am I now? How do I feel about it? And now what do I want to discuss for the second mentoring session? So really to know what the objective is for your second mentoring session, so that will help you to progress towards your overall goal from the mentoring. And basically the cycle starts again. So it's a cyclical process. There's no start and stop as such. It continues. Your responsibility in it is that you are an active member, not a passive member. Your responsibility is to explore and to discuss and to take the actions and to actually do the actions. And of course to keep your mentor updated in a way that they would like to be updated as well. So that is, I suppose, basically what is involved in ensuring that you yourself are prepared for your mentoring sessions and that the mentoring sessions go effectively for you. There are a few other, I suppose, key points that is worthy that you recognise and you appreciate. And that's really to treat that each mentoring session as a business meeting. As if you're really going into a business meeting, because they could have good contacts for you, contacts that they can actually put in touch with you. However, if they don't see you as a credible or trustworthy person, then they're not going to put your name forward, or they'll be more reticent about putting your name forward. So treat it as a business meeting, and within that, that basically means dress appropriately. Think about your appearance. Think about how you're actually coming across to the mentor. Arrive on time and arrive prepared for the meeting. And if it does happen that you have to cancel the meeting, then do so with advance notice, and good advance notice to your mentor, so that they can actually make the appropriate arrangements as well. So I think that basically covers the key messages, the key points that are covered in the induction meeting. And of course in the induction meeting there's a lot more discussions around this whole process, where the mentees will air some of their challenges or some of their concerns, and then as a group we discuss those challenges and those concerns and how to manage them appropriately.